Sometimes we think we're arguing with a grown man, but we're actually talking to a wounded little boy wearing his body. Brothers, when did you first learn to stop asking for love? And sisters, when did you realize his silence wasn't disrespect? It was abandonment talking. Hey,
Shot
family.
pull up to the venue, like what's on the menu? I'm getting chauffeured to a feast. I don't mean to offend you, I don't mean to be rude, but I'ma eat you like
Hey,
some food.
family. Hey, chimers. Hi, my lovelies. This is your girl, Shy. Thank you so much for chiming in with me today, right here on the Chiming with Shy podcast. Joined by powerful male voices committed to healing our culture through honesty and raw conversation. Welcome to A Letter to My Brother. This is episode 3, The Father Wound in Men. The father wound is the emotional, psychological, and spiritual damage a man carries when he grows up without consistent, present, affirming fatherhood. It shows up in avoidant attachment, anger, and emotional shutdown, not knowing how to receive love, identity confusion, fear of failing, rage, approval seeking, self sabotage in relationships. This wound doesn't stay in childhood, it grows into the man he becomes and the partner he struggles to be. Right now, this conversation will start off with a letter from our sister Melissa, read by Lena.
Dear brother, you are not responsible for what others have done to you or what happened to you, but you are responsible for fixing you. I am not, because your peace is hard. Being in your ride or die has caused me to die every other day almost. I am tired now. What I do know is it's okay to tell the truth. Tell it. It's okay to follow your dreams. It's okay to not know what you want to do or not. Know how you're going to do. I am not just coming with you. Use your words. Figure it out. I wish you love and light on your journey. Away from me, though. Love you, Xfinity, Xfinity. Bye. Sign Melissa.
All right, family, let's chime in.
I get it. You,
Clearly, she's frustrated.
yeah, she's frustrated. I understand. I don't. If you don't see the vision, things just don't happen overnight. It takes a process. It takes a process. Like if you want something good and successful, you gonna have to go. You're gonna go through ups and downs before you get there. You're gonna have to walk through the storm before you get there. And I get it, and I understand that you don't wanna. You 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 gave up, or you're done. But I'm not gonna give up my dream, and I'm gonna keep going. And and I appreciate everything that you done for me. But I wish you could stay around, to see the outcome. It's like I don't want you to leave. I believe what I'm doing right now. 100% believe in it. So I'm not gonna give it up, because tomorrow could be the day that you know everything it'll change our life. Tomorrow could be the day. How would we know? We won't. I'm gonna keep going. Like, I'm not gonna stop. And
Yeah.
and I'm sorry we came to this point, but you know, yeah, that's how I respond to that.
What about you, Will? You got your okay.
Smile, cousin.
I I know you. I know you knew it was on mute.
Mhm.
You need a moment.
I mean, Chris pretty much said a lot within that short, even though it wasn't long. Because when you're dealing with somebody that's already you got history with, it's already damaged, you already done did whatever. You really that's pretty much the blueprint.
That's the results of it, right? The consequences of it. You damage. You. She's already
Right.
lost hope.
She lost
Yeah,
hope, and we probably had all these episodes, and she probably burnt out. I get it. You feel me? And it's like I'm trying to get out the hood. I'm not trapping. I'm not selling dope enough. Like I'm trying. This is a process.
Yeah.
She might be used to that. You know what I mean? The trappers, whatever. But so it's just
I
I
wish she was
also
up here to tell her story.
yeah. Why she can't get on?
Like I said, she was having an issue with downloading the app.
no, but like I was saying, I think it also points back to us. You know what I mean? Because I seen a situation where the young lady was used to everything being one sided consistently, and then she met a man that was used to taking care of things, used to providing for his family, and I watched them go through a tug of war stage, whereas though she really had to accept the reality that she don't gotta do everything no more. I have a man here, and he had to sit her down and say, "Listen, sweetheart, I know what you're used to, but you ain't supposed to be used to that. I'm here now.
Mm,
I got this." And it
yeah.
wasn't no overnight shit. It took some time for the adjustment. But once they got that shit in order, man, you can't, man.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I love that. Let's hit on one of the points that I plan for us to talk about because we have 3 points that I want us to hit on, which the first one is abandonment trauma in the black and brown men. Um, I want to hit y'all with this statistic. It says father absence increases the likelihood of depression, anger, and difficulty forming trust. Pretty much boys raised without fathers are 279% more likely to carry behavioral and anger problems into adulthood. And that was reported by the United States Department of Justice Behavioral Health Report.
Interesting.
But on some real stuff, Shy, for those of us that have been that guy and went through the stages, it's real easy to identify with that. You know what I'm saying? When you go out, especially having to deal with other brothers with these triggers and stuff, it's like sometimes it's kind of hard because what y'all are expressing, a lot of brothers combat on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying? It's like, listen, young blood,
In
or listen,
denial.
it's not that serious. It's not that deep. Do you know how to? I'm trying to converse with you so we can come to an agreement. But all they see is red and emotion.
which
Right.
which we'll talk about a little later, but it definitely has a lot to do with rage, feeling abandoned as a child. But of course, they don't know, and they're in denial because they haven't brought that up to surface, you know. But I can see that a lot in our community, even I want to say even with women. But this episode is to bring to the forefront the father wound in men, you know, and that's pretty much because I want to say that's pretty much you got to mute your phone, Elena. That's pretty much because mute your phone, Alina.
You can't mute it for her?
It's too much.
No,
Hold up. I don't know what this is doing.
I want to say that that's the reason because a lot of people, men in particular, did grow up with just a single mother in the household. Or seen the mother had a boyfriend, or and the mom was just chasing after the boyfriend and not really paying attention to the children and just man centered. So I think that has a lot to do with things as well because a lot of men don't trust women because of what they've seen their mother go through and how their mother treated them for the man, you know. So yes, there's a lot of anger, there's a lot of frustration, there's a lot of built up trauma, built up emotion, and it looks like anger, it looks like abuse, it looks like narcissism, it looks like trust issues, you know. We're gonna keep it real.
And that all stems from now. The information is out there now. All that stems from like our regulated system, like our nerves. Like
Mm.
that's from what we went through, the triggers, being abused, getting touched on. Like a lot of that stuff plays a
Mm.
role.
Yeah,
We
But
survival.
people
didn't,
don't
we
like to
didn't,
talk about that type of stuff though, Chris.
right.
Especially men.
And exactly. But
And
now,
women like aunts and the elders of the family like to sweep that stuff under the rug because y'all talking about my baby.
Not
yeah.
That's
only not
But
only
family.
that, but when we talk about that, the mother, the parent, whether mother or father, has to take responsibility for the part they played in the child being like that. That's another reason they
Mm.
right.
don't want to talk about it.
And another thing is that that stuff was I'm talking about in our family. That shit was passed down from their fathers and grandfathers and grandmothers. It was a. I'm not gonna say too much because I don't want to put too much of our family business out there. A lot
Generally
of
speak on it, cause
yeah, and it was like once something happened to you, and it's like you get groomed, like, and it get passed down to generation, right? It get passed down, and it's like all that stems from like slavery, trauma,
not being supervised when you were supposed to be
not.
supervised.
No, it's deeper than that though. It's like it's deeper than that. It's like I said, it's go just don't stop at our moms and our grandmoms. It go past them.
But
It go
we can
past them. I
only
heard
speak
story.
on what we can identify with, though. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna keep it real with you. Learning and coming out of what we came out of, I can look back and say, damn, a lot of that traumatic stuff, they used to like tell stories about it like it was a badge of honor.
All right.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you ain't never been at the joint. Oh man, remember when Granddaddy did this and Uncle Johnny did this to him, and it's like it's a bunch of fucked up dysfunction, but it's like, look what we did, and it's like, yo, you mean to tell me
Yeah.
my grandfather shooting at my grandmother and my fucking uncle smashing them in the head is something good shit?
Yeah. Yeah. That shit crazy. Yeah.
Mm.
Man, see, I ain't know that. Tell that story.
Me
Speak about
neither.
it. Speak about it. Cause
I
look,
didn't
I
either.
speak about. Cause it is our family history
So
is like. Go ahead.
my bad. No, but like it's really start like you said, it start with our history. So they don't really talk about it to a lot of people, but Granddaddy was abusive as fuck, bro. He used to beat grandma the
Mm-hmm.
fuck up. Like to the point
Yeah.
one time this nigga shot at her.
Yeah. See, I ain't know that, but he
Come
did
out.
more. He did.
Okay.
You talking about Frederick?
Yup.
That nigga was sick. He was
Yeah.
sick in the head. He was. I don't want to put Auntie in them business out there, but he was sick doing stuff he shouldn't do
Boom.
with his own children.
So when them niggas got when her
This is
sons
gonna
got
get
big enough and
this.
bad enough, they was tearing off in his ass.
Oh, for real? See, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. And
Yeah.
it's crazy. It's crazy. It's like, oh, it was that was an evil motherfucker, yo. He was an
Had to
evil
have
mother.
been.
Real shit.
Look, my
Yo,
mom
that
used to
that
always tell me he started doing stuff to her, but not only that, and that was another reason why she used to have real bad epilepsy as a child too. But he used to rape her
all
and
of them.
then take her to his friend's house and let his friends rape my mom. And she always said that she wanted to, write about it. But she always said that she forgave him on his deathbed. But she always still was talking about it. And I'm pretty, like, my mom was strong as hell because there's no way somebody could, like, live a somewhat normal life after that. you know. But honestly, my mom didn't like being by herself. She always made sure one of us at least was with her whenever she walked outside of the house. She never went outside by herself because of the
Yes,
mental issues, the trauma that she had to deal with because of her father
and it's crazy that right
and
there got
other
passed.
males from his, you know, the males that he allowed to abuse her too.
That's crazy. He did his whole squad, bro. He did his whole squad, and that shit out of pocket. That shit crazy. And like you said, that's the reason. And some of that reason is the reason why my mom she didn't allow us to go to everybody crib. You know, we was only allowed to go to certain people cribs. You know, because that was like because my mom, the mother, she's being protective. You know, because
Right,
at first I didn't understand it. She said yes to some things, she said no to some things.
right,
But
absolutely.
but it was like a few cribs we was allowed to go to. I mean, she said yeah. So my mom only trusted a few people. That was Aunt Teresa, Aunt Shirley, Leisha and them. We stayed over there, and they stayed with us. Netta and Sean and Josette. We stayed
Yeah,
there
I
with
was about
Josette
to
house.
say you, but yeah,
Josette, that was like the five basically,
yeah,
and that's what, and and now I get it now. I understand it, and it's like it's fucked up that we can't. We fucked up that we got to maneuver like that. As I got older, and then I started hearing stories and shit. I'm like, damn,
yeah,
But that's
this
why
yeah.
shit
I'm
deep.
glad
That
we
shit
don't. My
deep.
bad.
Now go ahead, and you know what's crazy? And it's like I can't do that to my kids, bro. It's like certain things, like, and now it's like. Now I'm raising. Now I got some of them. Like now, I adapted some of those. Hello.
Yeah, we here.
Yeah, I adapted some of those things. So now it's like now I'm overprotected on my girls. Now I got girls now. Like and I got and you know I got a switch in my head. Like I don't want
As
nothing to
you
happen to
should
them.
be.
It's a switch. Like and it's like I don't want. I forbid something. Happen to my girls. It's like I don't even like think about this shit, but now I'm protected, I'm overprotected. I'm hearing stories about my mom, I'm hearing stories about my grandma. It's like that's fucked up. Like that shit crazy, bro. And it's like I ain't gonna hold you, man. They went through some shit, but they some of the toughest individuals, females I ever met in my life because of the shit they went through. And you know what I'm saying? They went through some shit, and it's like, but now I kind of get some of the mentality that they have and why they have it. And and it's like that shit crazy, bro. It's
It's
just
sad that
like
you have to protect your own children from your grandpa or your dad or, you know, that's that's a sad situation because the elders are supposed to lead us with their wisdom and guide us, and it's like we don't trust these motherfuckers. These
and you know what's
motherfuckers
crazy?
ain't no type of good role model for no. We don't. I can't think of not one. Like when I was home, like in Philly, I'm like, yo, I can't think of not one role model. My son, when at the time I had wisdom, I'm like, I cannot think of one role model my son wisdom could walk behind.
Right. But that's how fucked up we all are,
You
right?
know,
So it's like
dad is an
that was
alcoholic.
yes, I'm
You
saying it's
know,
like it's the trauma, bro. It's like, yo, it been passed down. And I feel like this is the chopping block. I feel like we the chopping block. Like it's like it's like
rebuke that spirit.
right, but we was the like, it was like it's fucked up. Like it's crazy. Like that's not normal. Now
Yeah,
we access to a different. Now we had access to a lot of information out here. Shit a lot of information used to be hidden from us. Now it's no excuse. Now everything is at our fingertips. Whatever you
yeah.
need to know, whatever you want to know, is at your fingers up. Nowadays, it's up to you if you don't want to know some shit. It's your fault. You can't say nobody high enough for you now because we in a time that you can make $1 million from your phone. You can get rich from your phone. So everything is on your phone. Like, you know what I mean? It's in your fingertips. So I feel like
Mm.
that. I feel like that kind of plays a role. That kind of plays a role of um why we the way we are. Like we said, nah, that shit not right. That shit is mentally ill. Like because of the information. Like that shit not normal. You know. So it's like, nah, that shit not normal, bro. And it don't get talked about. Then
And
now, yeah, go ahead.
no, and now go ahead, finish your
Yeah,
thought.
but now, cause now mental health is getting taken serious now. It's like different things is out here now that people can spread and talk about it now. Especially the black male mental health. Like mental health is getting serious now. It's serious in our community now, cause before it wasn't. So
Because
go
we
ahead,
we
cuz.
we we tired of going through this damn cycle. Just,
Exactly,
you know what I'm saying? Just think
exactly.
about it. We've been on this roller coaster, this merry-go-round for decades.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And it's like you said, they always hiding stuff, but no, we understand
yeah,
now. You don't hide this
yeah.
shit. You put it on the forefront. You broadcast all this bullshit so it can stop. But I
And we
understand, and I had to
remember,
learn because when y'all talk about slavery, we really have to identify and accept the fact that we're not far from that. This shit really just stopped if we talking about historical time.
Right. Yeah. 1900s. Like, yeah.
Right. So we're like third, fourth generation slave babies.
Right. It's a fact. It's a fact. Yeah. The last, like, what, slavery was going on, what, in 1940? Like,
It
it was
stopped in the
still
fucking
slavery.
1950s, bro.
Yeah. That wasn't that long ago.
look, they still got slaves till this day. They just hide it better.
I
They
mean,
just hide it
if
better.
yeah, if you're a slave now, then unfortunate. That's unfortunate. But now,
But now
hell no.
it's the mindset,
It's the mindset.
realistically
Now, it's
speaking.
facts.
And
It's
platforms
really
like this buck against that mindset, especially with strong men and women, because a lot of the topics that's being addressed right now makes people hide. It makes them feel attacked. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But I respect and I appreciate your platform and the mindset of the people that's on it to know that this is not an attack. This is not addressed towards anyone specific. This is a problem that we're
right.
addressing for the community because we all want better within ourselves and for others.
And it's not just our family.
Absolutely.
This shit is within the black community. This shit this is not just our family thing, bro.
Right.
A lot of other
It's for
black
the
folks got the
culture.
same stories, bro. That's crazy.
But they be
That's
embarrassed to
crazy.
talk about it because they don't know how prevalent it is in other people's lives.
Yeah,
Right. That's
you
why
know,
I said
cause
speak generally about things because it's not just our family. You're going to be
right,
so surprised.
yeah, no,
The
that shit crazy, man.
most people that seem put together, they be the ones, man. It be them families. But that be why some people do get put together. Like I use my mom, my dad's story. I use everybody's stories and I transmute that negativity and I turn it into something that can help somebody, that can help me, that can help somebody. Because we all need that alchemy in our lives.
Right,
We
Mm.
right,
do.
I like how you put that,
and
cuz, because as you was talking, it really I began to visualize like we really have great examples from our parents, because each one of us know our both our parents, and we
Mm,
watch their journey, and this the dialogues and the topics that we hit on here. It just really helped me see we had a clear example of two people fighting and trying to get through all this bullshit that we're sorting out right now. That's why
yeah.
Teresa and Rick became a love story, because of so much they fucking conquered and came through that was coming against them. The trials and
mm,
tribulations of what she just revealed for her mother's childhood, not to mention her experience of life as a black woman, what he experienced through his childhood and as a black man on a daily basis. The
And
ups
my
and
dad
downs.
went through some stuff when he was a teenager at what, 13, 14 years old. His best friend shot himself in the head. They was in the basement playing a game of Russian roulette. And the bullet really, it really, like, it really went off the gun. At 13, grieving your best friend, and y'all all was there, and it could have been you too. That's crazy.
See?
So he turned to drugs and he turned to alcohol. He turned to all of that stuff to numb out the pain, to numb life out. And I understand my dad so much and I love him so much because I know that he is a peculiar person. I know God got his hand on my dad because look, his mom, what his mom was a lesbian. He it was just, and I think she was a madam at some point too.
Solid.
He was it was it was a world no child should witness from their parent. So I learned and I grew to understand my dad, and understand how he's a handful, but I understand why,
I don't
you
Trauma.
know his
know.
story. I would like to know his story. I don't know his story. You
So
know.
I'm gonna hit on the next point. Silence and anger as inherited male wounds. Men raised by wounded men learn to survive through silence, not expression. Statistically speaking, 70% of men say they were taught not to talk about feelings growing up. You referenced this already, Lil Wham, on our very first episode. No, that was John. When he was like, we were taught to suck it up, nigga, when he said that. So the reference was from American Psychological Association in 2022.
Yeah.
And that's real. And I catch myself telling my daughter, like, stop crying. Use your words. Use your words. Stop crying.
But
You
that's
know.
like but crying. eh, But come to find out, crying is good for the body and it's therapeutic. Like it's a it's another emotion. It's another form of communication. Crying. Like I found out a lot of stuff about. I'm getting feedback. Yeah. So the crying. It was like especially me, man. I used to get my ass torched. I used to get torched. I used to get my ass fucking torched. I was like, like that shit used to be crazy, bro. I don't know why I said that shit, bro. Cause I'm always crying and shit. I used to get my ass whooped like a motherfucker. Um,
No, that's good shit though,
It was
cuz.
bad.
they say I was bad, but listen, now it's crazy. My mom didn't have the tools to handle me.
Right.
It wasn't nobody is bad, bro.
You wasn't bad, by the way. That was a
No,
joke.
I was a little out of pocket,
You just had a
but
lot of energy and
He's
you did
being
we all
bold.
did some stuff and we had a lot
yeah,
of
yeah,
energy.
but it was like, but certain boys got that extra shit in them. I was one of the boys with the extra shit in them. I was an extra motherfucker. So it was like, and fucking used to get torched. And but now, no, looking back, that was some crazy shit. I would never do it to my kids though. Just looking back though, certain things I just wouldn't do. I just wouldn't do to my kids. It's not worth it. My daughters, I could yell at them, they start crying. So I don't gotta put my hands on
Right.
my daughters. So I mean,
You can see the
thank God
fear
for
in their
that.
face.
Yeah, I was like, yo, I get it look like, yo, stop fucking playing with me, bro. I'll beat you up.
Did
And
you get
they go
the
like,
extension cord before?
I
Just
Hell,
never,
skinned before?
hell
of
yeah.
course, yeah. Straight out the shower, smacking the head with the cash on, the stilettos. Back in the
Man,
day, our folks they had the
that's
glass
the
ashtray. They had a thick ass crystal ashtray. They used to get smacked inside the head with that shit.
yeah.
All types of shit. Fucking plumbing poles, hockey sticks, all types.
I'm
Weapons like and
telling
that
you.
shit and it was crazy, but but anyway, but now looking back and now the knowledge that I have, thank God I understand now and I got some type of help, mental help and therapy and I I would never go that route if I had a boys. Now I know like each kid is different. None of your kids are the same. You gotta understand each kid personality and you have to meet them. Everyone is different. Like everyone is different. Like my older daughter and they different. They just like they, but it's crazy because it's me in them. I see me. They both act like me, but it's different,
Yeah.
right? And it's like it's different, right? Your kids is literally your mirror. People understand like a kids are literally your mirror. Like they a walking mirror, and
It's the
they're
proof
gonna
of
show
you.
you how you are. You know what I'm saying? I understand that now, but anyway, but like my older daughter, like she kind of I have to have more patience with her, and I have to be more emotional with her. I have to be more like softer on her than my younger one. Cause my older daughter Luna, she's like, she get hurt fast. Like everything, she get
Mhm.
down. Like I'm like, baby, I'm like, baby, it's okay. Like I gotta talk to her. Like it's okay to feel how you feel, though, mama. But it's like it's not the end of the world, you know.
Yeah.
It's like it's not the end of the world,
Yeah,
or
exactly.
you get another chance, you get another turn. It's not the end of the world, mamas. So you don't have to be all like. I let her express her emotions. Sometimes I do catch myself like, yo, relax, like chill out. I be catching myself then. Now I let them cry more now. My folks, they don't like that, but I give my kids not freedom, but I give them space to act they self. Like I give them space to express their feelings.
Right. That's good, Chris. That's very
And
healthy.
they sometimes they might not like the way my kids talk. They not being disrespectful. They just talk a certain way. I know when my kids is being disrespectful,
And they're very direct.
right? And
That's
I
what
know
you want
it's
from your children.
Yeah.
exactly. I don't want them to like be quiet, shut up, and all that. No,
Yeah.
express yourself. When they be like, "Why we gotta do this?" I'm gonna tell them why. Sometimes,
Yeah.
listen. I'm not look. Sometimes I catch myself like this. Don't worry about why, but then I come back around and tell them why though, because thought process like kids want to know. You know,
Just
it's not
think
about
about it. That was part of
yeah.
abuse. That was part of the abuse part, Black, because us do
That
what
was
I say, not what. Like, what the fuck? Wait a minute. You mean you just gonna
that,
fuck me up and not tell me why it's bad not to do this?
right,
Yeah.
exactly, and that happened to me. That's what caused me to shut down and walk away. That affect into they will get brought up
Mm.
into your adulthood. So, but
Yeah.
now I know that because I went through it. So now my mom might say, "I let your daughter talk to you any type of way." Mom, no, I don't, because certain things, certain I let them express themselves.
But hold on, slow
They
down,
ain't
Les. What does that? What is that? What is she doing right there? See, we still think this is about us when we're parenting.
right,
You letting her talk
right.
to you like that? No.
I'm not
Mm.
This human being is expressing themselves, and your
Yeah.
ego
right,
won't allow you to hear that shit.
Mm.
right.
And I
I,
encourage my children to have their own opinions. It's very healthy.
right, but it's like, and I'm not gonna just quickly shut my kid down when she want to express something to me.
Right.
I'm not gonna quickly shut it down. Then she not gonna. Then they gonna stop coming to me when they want to talk to me. You know, I want to have this conversation. I want to me and their mom is two. It's like Oreo. It's two different. It's like a milk. It's like a vanilla and chocolate milkshake. It's two different worlds. It's two different cultures. It's two different upbringings. My upbringing and my way of teaching is way different than her mother's. I, I raised my kids with discipline, integrity, and morals, right? So but like I said, certain things I let my kids say. No, they ain't saying shut up, be quiet, dad, I smack you, or whatever, boy. No, they ain't saying no crazy shit like that. They're not being disrespectful.
So let me ask you something, bro. So why does this go left when we try these tactics with our woman? When we like that, you see, because we wanna try to bring the trauma into the relationship, and I'm listening to how and accepting how, and I'm using myself as an example as well, how we've learned to address our daughters, listen to them, allow them to express themselves without feeling like we're being beat up because this is our baby. But over the course of time, we have to learn to use these tactics within a relationship with this wounded woman that we're dealing with too. So why and
Boom,
how when we use these tactics, why a lot of times it's not successful with them in a relationship as well? What's your thoughts on that?
bang. Good fucking question, buddy. Good question. Me having daughters taught me how to understand a female. Taught me how to you got females, bro. You got to sometimes, bro. My daughters made me understand and how to treat a female good and understand a female. Right? You kind of have to like understand what this individual is coming from, and you got to meet them on a level, and you got to comfort them. You don't gotta seem like you're attacking them. You gotta really come with some understanding shit. Like you really gotta come, like you gotta let them. You gonna have to let them talk and express themselves. When they start yelling all that stuff, be like, listen, hold on. I'm not yelling. I'm talking to you. You know, this is how I talk to my daughters. Like, I'm not yelling at you. Stop. You know what I mean? You don't have to cry. You can cry, but I'm like, mama's like, I'm to be having to sit down and talk. You can be honest. You can talk. Sit down and talk. I come from my girls, bro. They start letting everything out. They tell me everything because I comfort them. And I'm like, it's okay. Daddy love you. You know that, right? Like, yeah. Okay then. You trust daddy, right? Yeah. Um, all right then. Like you don't gotta keep you never gotta keep nothing for daddy. You don't got never hide nothing from daddy. So basically what I'm saying, like you gotta like kinda like now I understand that now. Because I was the type of like I'll react to a female like, how the fuck you don't know that? Why you thinking like that? I just be like, yo, what the fuck? How you was bored up? You was bored up dumb as shit. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I used to think like that, bro. Real shit. That's why I take accountability of my last relationship. Like, I wasn't the fucking best. I looking back like, oh, for my last relationship and having daughters, I see where I was like lacking at
Boy,
now.
oh
So
boy.
now yeah, I'm spitting that hot fire, right? So look, anyway, but
Spitting that
no,
hot fire.
but this is real shit though. This is real life shit. This is the shit I went through. But now I understand now, like how to really like understand. I understand now the females, how where they coming from. Do I have to deal with it? I don't have to deal with it. I don't have to deal with a person that's not healed, or I don't have to deal with a person that they don't have their shit together either. But but that but if I really like this person and I see, like and I really like this person and this person and they are aware of their traumas, they are aware of their triggers. When a person's aware, it's gonna be easy to solve conflicts. It's gonna be a better understanding. If a person
Mm-hmm.
not aware of their actions, bro, they not aware, like that shit is not gonna go
Disciple.
nowhere.
Yep.
You, you run into a brick wall, bro. You run into a brick wall. Like now I kind of see certain things now from a theme. Now I could see certain stuff now that I couldn't see before. I had to go through all that stuff, you know, and just now like a female is like I get it now. I kind of get it now, and now I understand what type of person I had to be. Now I understand
Look
some
at
type
that.
of now I kind of understand like what type of person you need to be for. It depends on the female, but now I know how to show up in a healthy way now. I
God
know
is
how to
so
show.
good.
I know how to show up in a healthy way now. Because and first of all, because I don't want to go through no more bullshit, and I don't want my heart broken no more. It's not a good
Yeah.
feeling.
It'll teach you
That
fast.
shit broke. Yeah, that shit, motherfucker. Like, man, that shit'll break you. You be all in your bed. You won't talk to
Heart burning
nobody.
and shit.
Right?
Literally.
You feel like you got shot in the chest and shit. Like, oh my god, well, I'm in pain. Like that shit crazy. Like, but
But when you come to the realization that a lot of the detriment was because of your lack of understanding,
yeah, yes,
that be
yes.
something
I
else,
didn't know. No,
boy.
yeah, I didn't
Mm.
know. I didn't know because I didn't have a male father figure that raised me to be like, this is how this is how a man move. This is how a man maneuver.
No,
I
but
didn't have
but
no
they don't
real.
have no rule book. Even though my pop was there every day, I still messed up because okay, remember we come from a generation where they didn't expose everything. So a lot of stuff that went on like within the couple, you just saw the blow up or the results of it. So it was a lot of stuff that I didn't know how I didn't have the example of how my dad was keeping my mom so calm because he would do that behind closed doors. I could just say, "No, I ain't never see my dad really yell at my mom."
Right, right,
But I
right.
had to go through my trials and tribulations and messing up and destroying a human being to realize like, yo, this ain't what I'm doing ain't working. And if you don't want to be
Facts,
Mm,
lonely, you better figure this shit out.
yeah.
facts. It's like you said, that's the key word, lonely. Who nobody don't want to be lonely for real. That shit, that's not a good feeling, bro. It's a difference between like you don't want to like I want a partner. You know, I want a partner. I want someone that's going to like it's a lane. I ain't talking about nobody perfect. Someone that can, we can, you know, we can. What the fuck is the word? You
Build
know,
with, create legacy with,
that too. But like I'm talking about like as in like it's a balance. Like it's like a balance. Like cause we got. I'm gonna keep her.
bring the
Like
best out of each
I'm gonna
other.
do. I'm gonna do things to keep her balanced. She's gonna do things to keep me balanced. The divine and the masculine and feminine. So it's like now it's like and damn.
Yeah.
It's something you said, man. Damn, and I wanted to answer it. Well, right back to the male figure. It was a male figure around. It was a no. It was a guy around. It wasn't on some like. It wasn't in a healthy way. It wasn't healthy. Like it was toxic. A toxic male trying to teach me certain things. I ain't gonna hold you. Certain things was beneficial. I picked up something, but a lot of shit was like it was bad. Like it was like what the fuck. It was they was mentally unstable, They was toxic. So, they ain't really know how to be,
But that's why I said wearing that toxicity as a badge of honor, because just think about this. Now we can identify which behavior of our fathers was toxic and fucked up. But let's look at and identify how many times we praised you for being and looking and acting just like your daddy.
mm,
And subconsciously, when you hate somebody so much or dislike them so much, you turn into that person subconsciously and you don't even know.
nah, yeah,
And behaviorally, you'll
hell,
act like
hell,
them.
hell nah. I've rebuked that shit.
I was doing the same
I
thing
said
though, cuz.
sometimes.
Because the way my dad used to beat the shit out of me, I thought that was normal. And even though
Nah,
I didn't do it severely as my father, I started that shit with Lil Will. And it
Um,
really had to stop. Like it caught me one time. What made me stop putting my hands on my son is one day he did something, and I got him in the kitchen. I'm taking it to him, and then it realized that you know how you start whooping your kids and you talking. As I'm talking, I begin to realize that now I'm not even hitting him for what the fuck the problem is. I'm
you just
getting my
angry.
right. I done switched to something else and I'm getting my shit off on my own child.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah, bro.
That shit
Thank
made me
God for
feel
Uh,
that
like,
revelation.
huh?
Thank God for that revelation. Thank God you had that moment.
Yeah, that shit made me feel like shit, cuz I'm like, yo, I'm looking at my hands like, yo, what the fuck? Like, yo,
yeah,
if I can't, I need to learn how to talk to my fucking son because this ain't getting it.
I'm glad to hear. I ain't gonna hold you. Will. I'm glad to hear that from you, bro. I'm
Yeah.
glad. I'm glad you said that. That's real shit because
Thank you.
I went through the same shit with my daughters. My daughters was younger. I was beating them with a belt. And you know what's crazy? I stopped, but it was like this was the thought in my head. I'm gonna knock all this shit out the way now, so when they get older, I don't gotta go through it. Which it did work though. I ain't gonna hold you. It did work though. But that wasn't no. It's a different way to go about that. Like it was like my kids is like I was like I kind of knew from growing up. I kind of knew what I needed to do, so I don't have to go through no disrespect, no too much like feedback from them. Which I don't really go through now. Like at their mom house, they act like fucking. They think they the fucking worst kids in the world. They don't got no home training and all that. But they come here, they fucking angels. They come to my mom house. They come to my house. They angels, bro. Cause certain stuff I nipped it in the bud when they was young boys. Cause I already knew what it was. They got my blood in them. I already know what to do already. Like you already, already knew. But like, go back to what you were saying though. When you realize when you hit your kid, I had the same moment. My daughter said, "Why I got daughters? Why the fuck I'm hitting them, bro? I'm drawn. Like it was drawn. Like
Yeah.
it
One
was
thing
so
I can say, my fault. You can finish your thought, Chris.
right." And when they got like, I stopped because I walk in the crib from work and they know they did some bad shit. They know their mom gonna tell me. They gonna start crying and shit. Like they was fair. It was getting fearful. I was like, oh nah. Like they started crying, but I did some drone shit. But but it was like I walk in, they was being scared of me. And I didn't want my daughters to be scared of me. They respect me now. They respect me. I didn't want them to be scared of me.
Right.
It might be a little bit of fear in there. Of course, I'm daddy.
Right.
I'm daddy, but that's not the whole base of the whole thing. They respect my daughters respect me now.
Right.
Because
You don't want them to look at you like you boogeyman.
yeah, hell no. Cause
Yeah.
I went through that as a kid. Hell
I
no.
understand.
That's not a good feeling. Someone come around and you get uncomfortable.
Right.
You walking on eggshells,
Yeah.
and it's like you hiding now. You hiding in your room and shit. I didn't want to go there. I didn't want to go through that with my kids, bro.
Mm.
So
That's where low self-esteem stems from too in children and growing up. Yeah.
hell nah, listen, man. I don't care my kids
That's
mixed,
weird.
bro. I don't care my kids are mixed. They still black kids. Like y'all
Hmm.
still black, bro. You understand what I'm saying? So I gotta raise my kids a certain way. Like, I don't want them to be all scared. You know what I mean? I gotta raise them a certain way, bro. Like, preparing them for this outside world and shit. But yeah, that's the answer about him realizing like, damn, fuck I'm beating them for. I had the same epiphany, bro. And I stopped beating my kids.
I think that comes from us not understanding who we are, cause because just think, now that we understand our position and our power, not only as a man, as a father, and our as a husband or mate, you know what I'm saying? You become violent or aggressive when you don't understand your position and your power. Just think, now that you
Right,
understand your position and your power, we ain't got to yell at our children all the time. We ain't even got to be physical with them.
Not no more.
Them
I wish.
right.
expressing and knowing the disappointment that they just put in you,
Mhm.
that yeah, like they don't want that shit. Especially that, but that shows of a good parent. Like, damn, I fucked up.
Yeah.
My dad ain't even going. Yeah, let me,
Yo,
because I ain't going to front. I had to learn. I had to learn and examine myself as a teenager to be able to deal with my son, because after the breakup, it was like, I'm used to talking to my kids every day, seeing them every day. And it's like, my son is a teenager, so I really had to think like, damn, at 16, 17, I really wasn't talking to my fucking dad every day. You know what I'm saying? I was rolling with my friends. So I had to
right,
mature enough to be like, all right, it ain't nothing personal. My son being a fucking teenage boy.
right,
Right. And men and women associate with their fathers completely differently. Even talking to fathers that was parenting their sons decades before I was, they told me the same thing. One old head said, listen, Will, nigga, I got 5 sons. He said, I only talk to 2 of them niggas. The other 2 only call me when they need something or when shit go bad. I said, yeah, he said, they young men. They ain't gonna be trying to be up your ass all the time, especially if you told them right. I said, you know what,
right.
OG, you right.
Damn, right. That was some game right there. See, I mean, I could
Yeah.
hear. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a son, so I don't know how that go. I ain't go, but me thinking back when I was a teenager, I stayed outside till it was curfew time. I ain't coming to crib until it was curfew time and
I
shit. Like
used
I
their house
really
as
ran
a
out there. Like,
curfew because it got too late. Where you at,
yeah,
boy? I'm at Aunt Teresa.
yeah,
Men who don't know how to receive love. Love feels foreign when no one modeled it. Like a statistic will say something like men who experience paternal abandonment are 40% more likely to struggle with emotional intimacy. That's from the Journal of Family Psychology.
I want to read that article because I wasn't raised with affection. My mom didn't show affection to us, but we knew she loved us. She didn't play about us though. But my mom's not a hugger or kisser, but she is
Do
split a
you
mother.
do you think you
She's
were one of the men who didn't know how to show love because of that?
yes, of course, yes. My last relationship, yes. I didn't know how to. I didn't know how to. I didn't know how to meet her love language. I didn't know it was. I didn't know different people had different love language. I didn't know people even had love languages.
Solid.
So it's like you gotta meet people. So I'm saying now, my experience now is like shit. It woke me up, man. It shit made me a totally different man. I get it. And having daughters now, I get it. So, but now you gotta like see what the love language. I wasn't raised with affection, bro. I didn't know how to be affectionate. My baby mom would tell me like she'd tell me because you're not an affectionate person. I wasn't, bro, but she was. And it was weird because she do certain shit. I felt uncomfortable. Like, what the? Why I felt uncomfortable? She showing me love. But I wasn't used to getting that shit. Like I was used to a female showing love in a different way and shit. Like that's why I make sure I hug my kids and kiss my kids every chance I get.
Actually done a lot of teaching him, on how to be more affectionate because their culture is not like that with their children over there at all. They have to learn how to be strong and firm and just disciplined. And it's like kids need to have fun,
Is
in
that
order to learn
cultural differences or just because of environment differences, or both?
both. Both. With that, I was crying a lot. Like I was so emotional. I was in so much pain. So yeah, I'm gonna fucking cry it out. I've learned that stuff because I was by myself. God had to take me up, literally himself. I appreciate affection. I appreciate us knowing that affection is very important, especially for the little ones
Yes.
growing up. They have to know that you love them. They have to be held. They have to be touched. Give them kisses. Give them hugs. Give them empowering words. Boost up their spirit. Three R's, and the number one R is to recognize. You recognize you cannot heal what you pretend doesn't hurt. That's like when I said you can't you can't heal what you don't acknowledge.
Right.
So help men identify where the wound shows up. It shows up in defensiveness. It shows up in just shutting down. And we talked about what shutting down meant last week. It shows up in jealousy, overprotectiveness, fear of failure. And the second R is for release. We gotta release. I'm sorry, releasing doesn't mean forgetting the Father, right? It means releasing the belief I must do everything alone. So release the lie, release the shame. That's a big one. Release the shame. Because a lot of people feel shame because of maybe what they've done or what someone has done to them. So they hide behind shame, and all they have to do is realize that they don't have to take responsibility for the shame that they feel. They can forgive themselves and however they've gotten the shame.
Mm.
So release the impossible expectations you put on yourself and release those impossible expectations that others put on you. You don't have to hold on to anybody else's expectations of you, especially if they're the ones that don't know you or isn't loving you correctly. And that last R is receive. Men must relearn how to receive love, support, correction, partnership, emotional safety. Because, brother, the love you never got is still available, but you gotta open the door to receive it.
As I didn't receive love in a specific way at one time, when it was presented to me or trying to be given to me, I either ran from it or didn't know how to accept it. So I really had to grow and learn, like Chris said, different love languages, and that everybody's not going to love the way you think they should. They can only display love the way they know how.
Exactly. Exactly. It's like you have to meet in the middle. If you really love that person and you really feel like it's gonna work, just nobody. You're not gonna like everything about an individual. I don't care if you're married to someone. You're not gonna like everything about them. It's gonna be something gonna irritate you. Like, yo, what the fuck?
So
Why you? Go ahead.
now I wanted to ask Mumsy, it's like, all right, so being as though sisters are emotional creatures and men are as well, but on different levels. What's the best advice you could give for a man that might be dealing with a sister that she's she knows how to express herself and let us know that what she needs as far as emotional affection and companionship. But how do we address that as a man if you feel like in some of those areas you might be depleted and you can't really give the amount of energy to those areas that she needs at the time?
Let her know that. Just communicate to her right now, I can't give you exactly what you need, but I'm starting here. You know, we can take baby steps. You just got to understand your partner. She got to understand you. She has to understand what you've been through, and therefore you need to communicate that with her so she can gather that understanding. Because when we hear you say something, of course we're emotional and things like that, but we think logically at times too. It's just you have to, when you communicate what's going on, it has to click in our minds.
Okay.
I would say if you're with the right person and you communicate that you're not up to it, they should understand at that moment because they know you. They know, like, oh, this isn't an everyday thing. I could give him a break. But if it's not the person for you, she not going to be equally yoked to you. You're not going to match energies because if that's something she needs and you constantly keep depriving her of that need, then it's like it's going to keep um y'all going to keep charging at each other.
Why is it so hard for females to understand that we need affection and compassion as well? Because sometimes a nigga want to just be held, right?
And
Sometimes
that's
a nigga.
fine. I don't have nothing, like, some females just feel like, oh, they need to do everything for me, which is an imbalance, and that's not right at all. But that's not how I get down.
So if your husband comes to you on a bad day and he actually needs you to hold him and kiss him on his forehead, that's what you gonna do?
He don't ever have to ask me for stuff like that. That's like a byproduct of who I am.
See, that's what I'm. Boy,
Yeah.
That's just me. Like, I'm very conscientious of like, I'm really good at loving people around me. I'm very good at paying attention to my children's need, to my husband's need, to my needs, to my friends' needs. I'm very thoughtful. I'm not selfish at all. I'm very thoughtful. Right now, I'm thinking like, damn, I need everybody's address so I can send them a gift after we done this project. I got to show them my appreciation. Like, that's just the
That's some
type
real
of
shit.
person I am. I'm like a natural giver, but I'm a receiver too. I'm not like a person that will deplete myself or empty out my own cup and it's not being refilled. I'm not stupid.
right.
But
That's
I'm just
that's learned
natural
behavior
at
too.
caring for. I'm a caregiver at heart, and I'm a nurturer.
And for what you're accomplishing and about to accomplish, he's not going to have a choice but to want to know who my mother. Like when you on a View and all that shit, express and you
Yeah.
know, breaking
Yeah.
down your book to these motherfuckers, he gonna
Yeah.
see like, hold on, Dad, you said nigga that
No.
mom.
No.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's a fact. Yeah, exactly. He gonna want to know, like, damn, like, mom, how you get to that point? Tell him your story. He gonna know your story.
You
Listen, this is
don't
what I
know
went through. Yeah, exactly. So the father he got right now, is- like
yeah
I said, like
right
my
now.
right now, it's cool. It's a marathon. It's a marathon. It's the
Yeah,
race ain't over. They race ain't over yet. You won the race, but it's a fucking marathon. The war is not over yet. But
I still wouldn't deny him of his child. I still wouldn't
yeah,
do it, even though he's
exactly.
doing it to me. I'm not that type of person because I don't want to hurt my child. Why not let my child have so many people loving them? I think it's better.
Yeah, it is. It's supposed to. It's too like it's mom. You the mom
It's
and the
my
dad.
outro.
You the mom and dad,
Family, this
and
episode was 3, the father wound and our men. Tonight, we didn't attack our brothers. We understood them. We didn't judge their silence, we decoded it. And we didn't shame their wounds, we covered them. Next week, oh baby. Episode 4 is The Way You Treat Her is Worship. You do not want to miss this one. Lock in by following the China with Shy podcast on all platforms: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, TikTok, wherever you get your podcast.
right.
Love loud, heal louder.
Shy,
This
pull
is
up
your
to the
girl Shy.
venue.
You are
Like, what's
chiming
on
with
the
Shy,
menu?
and
I'm
I'm
getting
signing
trophy to
off.
a feast.